want to ask you about Bart Starr and just the connection you have with him and what it meant for you to have him come to Lambeau.
Well, actually, the year before this past Thanksgiving, we were not trying to retire a jersey or anything, but we were going to. Mark Murphy had called and wanted me to come up, and he had extended an invitation to come to a game with no media. I'm sure people have found out, but I said I'll come if Bart can come. So that actually started before this past Thanksgiving, and there came a point where I didn't know if it was ever going to happen, and it became like kind of our, it was like our bucket list thing that Mark and I and the Packers were trying to get accomplished, which I think more than my jersey being retired, more than my induction into the Packer Hall of Fame, I found way more joy, and I think most people who are associated with the Packers, whether fan, media, or past players, would agree that was a special moment. And I'm so thankful that we got that accomplished and that Bart was able to make it. By no means was I ever worried about being overshadowed by Bart. I think he deserved that moment, and we were able to get it.
Have you had that conversation yet,
while you were having your bust done, that both you and your wife had a disagreement as far as what your expression would be? How did you come about deciding on the final expression?
On what?
On your bust. Like, that you guys had different opinions.
Well, I mean, don't men and women always have disagreements? Ultimately, the man says, whatever. Am I right? Whatever. You win. I don't think I look good with my hair parted that way, but hey, so be it. So it's kind of how it ended up.
Hey, Brett, have you had the summer of 2008, how that hurricane just went down? It's been a long time. Have the scars healed from that?
I feel like they're 100% healed. And again, I go back to this past Thanksgiving. I mean, really, I can't sugarcoat it. And Lance and I were talking about it earlier. That was, I don't even have I can't even describe that feeling when I walked on that field. I was certain I would not get emotional. And to see 70,000 people, it's not a game. I didn't know the last time I'd walked on that field it was a little different. So there was some doubt of what would happen. That was incredible. So how could you not get emotional? And from that moment on, it was like we've moved on. Again, you guys were there. I mean, that was spectacular. If every player could get a chance to experience that. It's different when you're playing, you're in the moment, you're out there and you score a touchdown, they cheer for you. But it's different when there are no touchdowns and you're by yourself. And there had been a little bad blood prior to that. And for that type of response was incredible.
Okay, Brett, as a Mississippi, what does it mean to go in here and alongside
I was kind of joking with David Baker and some of the other guys. I was talking to Jackie Slater earlier. I'm probably wrong. There's probably other, but I'm going to say that Mississippi has the most Hall of Fame members. That works for me. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but we'll say we got the most. We'll just leave it at that. But I always brag on Mississippi. Walter Payton, Jackie Slater, great guy, and there's numerous others. I mean, it's pretty special. And I like to kind of poke fun. I'm a fan of Mississippi football, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, but I'm a Southern Miss guy. And I think we have two more than the others. Ole Miss and Mississippi State, I may be wrong. But no, I'm just honored to go in, period. But honored to go in, and that's the other thing, to follow in the footsteps of not only Ron Wolf, but Ray Guy, who is a fellow Southern Miss guy. He's so deserving. So, there's a lot of reasons to be happy about this moment.
Hey, Brett, could you talk about Reggie White and being inducted with your teammate here in the Hall of Fame and your thoughts on
And that's another guy, a guy who meant. I talk about Ron Wolf, and I will continue to talk about Ron Wolf and his legacy and what I tend to think that he's kind of gets overshadowed. So even though he's in the Hall of Fame, but what his importance to the rise of the Packers. One of those moves that he made, in my opinion, is the greatest free agent acquisition in NFL history, was getting Reggie White to come to Green Bay. And that really was the difference for us that put us over the top. And I had the pleasure of playing with Reggie, and I had the unfortunate pleasure of playing against Reggie. And it was one of the few guys that hurt me, that separated my shoulder. So when Reggie and I sat down at lunch when he was being recruited, he said, I want to play on your side. I was like, yes. So he was a tremendous teammate. He was one of the funniest guys you would ever meet, and you probably wouldn't think that. He was really imposing, but he was really a big teddy bear. And I had a special relationship with him, and I think that was no more obvious than when he passed away and was asked to be a pallbearer. It was a tremendous honor. I'm honored to go in the Hall of Fame period, but to go in with Ron Wolf and Reggie White is something special.
Hold on, 2 more questions.
Hey, Brett, when this whole weekend is over and you're back on Mississippi on Monday, what do you do?
I'll probably cut grass on my front lawn with my gold jacket on. It's too hot for that now. People are like, what is wrong with that guy? Too many hits to the head. I don't know. Our 17-year-old Breeley, she actually starts volleyball tomorrow during their season. So you go back to life as usual. I don't think many people are going to say, hey, Brett, we'll have supper for you here in a minute, and we'll wine and dine you, and we'll press your coat. And I don't think any of that's going to happen. So,
will we see you in Green Bay again?
I think I will be there for the Cowboys game.
You talk about choosing your wife?
Last question.
Well, let's take it one year at a time. I mean, let's start with this year. It was pretty cool going last year. No
you
pun
get a ring
intended.
this year, right? You get your ring.
I get a ring.
You get a ring.
Get a ring.
It's Culver's.
It's Culver's. Are you talking about the custard?
Anything you want.
Okay. You talk about choosing your wife to be the presenter?
That was the obvious choice. And I'll speak a little bit about that tomorrow. Obvious choice. She was there, and I'll say this, not to waste my line, but she was there long before my first touchdown pass, and long after the last.
Okay.
So it was an easy choice.
Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks, Brett.